to my $3,000 or whatever it is. So if in that year I have to pay three grand out of my pocket, I have it.
Yeah.
But I also self-diagnose. I try not to go to the doctor as often. It's a win-win. It's a win for them. It's a win for me.
Look, I mean, you know, markets work. Now, I think we all understand. I mean, we're an incredibly wealthy country. We're not going to let people die on the street. There's always going to be a safety net, and there's
some of them.
Well, yeah. Someone would be happy to have them die on the street, but you know, we don't walk by people who are dying on the street, and that's sort of what they're trying to imply conservatives are about. But the simple fact is, ever since World War II, again, wage and price controls, you know, well, employers couldn't, you know, bid up the price of workers, and if you had an ammunition plant that, you know, was going 3 shifts, and you couldn't get the workers, you had to find some way to do it, to get that 3rd shift guy. So what did you do? You suddenly provided health insurance. They wouldn't let you increase wages, but you could increase benefits. And ever since then, and again, wage and price controls created that. Ever since then, the government has been distorting this market. I mean, the very worst move we ever made was employer-provided health insurance. How many people do you know who say, I hate my job, I'd like to switch it, but I got great benefits? That's terrible for the economy. It's terrible for the person. They're locked in. They're less productive than they would otherwise be because they're unhappy. A lot of people, I mean, how many people do you know who would start a business, but they can't risk it? I can't put my family's health at risk. Well, you know, that's where we have gotten because the government, if for no other reason, when your employer buys that insurance, it's tax deductible, which for him means about 40% off. If you buy it yourself, you pay in after-tax dollars. So not only is it more expensive because you're buying individual health insurance, but it costs almost twice as much for you to do it just because you don't get a tax advantage. The government has done that, and that, as much as any other reason, is why healthcare is so expensive. Now getting to higher ed, which is where we started, higher ed is exactly the same thing. Pell Grants, student loans, all of those things have made Americans much less price sensitive than they used to be. I came to Minnesota in 1982. I went to Carleton. Carleton College at that time, just as today, was one of the more expensive elite schools, blah, 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 blah. It cost $7,000 a year, tuition and room and board. Carleton today, I don't know the exact number, but it's close to $70,000.
A year?
A year.
Elites.
Yeah, but even, you know, even state schools are ridiculously expensive. You know, and I've talked to people who are 20 years older than me, and they're talking about, yeah, I paid, you know, $500 a semester. You know, how many people could actually work their way through college today?
I paid $100 a quarter.
There you go. You can't work your way through college today because prices have gone through the roof. And
that's by design.
Yes.
By design.
Well,
They
you
don't
know,
want a lot of the masses to go to college.
well, no, I mean, they want you to do it through them.
They want you to be dependent.
They want everybody to go.
They want you, but also college is much worse today. Much, much worse today. First of all, you know, now I studied philosophy, political philosophy. I'm a big advocate of the liberal arts. But my God, you know, how many people do you need with English degrees? How many people, you know, and, you know, if people actually thought, well, I've got to, you know, pay this off with a skill, you know, people are making irrational decisions because they don't understand the actual cost that they're paying. And it's like a 4-year, you know, vacation for a lot of people. So people come out, and you know, we just don't need that many women's studies majors. We don't need that many English majors. We don't need that many, you know, and Americans are not doing science, technology, and math, and engineering. I mean, 60% of our engineering PhD students are foreign.
And the tech schools have disappeared,
Yeah.
basically.
Well, because, I mean, that's not high skill and blah, 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 blah. No, and the irony is, of course, the, you know, the jobs that will always be around are those jobs.